Ellie and I met in college and immediately clicked. From the moment we started dating, she showed a genuine interest in me. It was this that helped me overcome my insecurities and truly value myself. As a hardworking, nerdy guy, I had never had much luck with women. So it was almost unbelievable to me that someone as intelligent and stunning as her would show such interest in me. We were both driven individuals, and by the time we graduated college, we had both built our own successful small businesses. After graduation, we moved in together and a year later got married. Our marriage was what I considered to be rock solid. We had endured family tragedies, professional challenges, and various disagreements, but always managed to work through them and come out stronger. Ellie had a large social circle, which included many men, but I never felt threatened or worried about it because she never gave me any reason to. Our social outings were always in mixed groups, and over time, I grew to trust her closest friends implicitly. As the milestone of our 10-year anniversary approached, my thoughts turned to starting a family. It was a topic that we had negotiated early on in our relationship, both wanting different things. I wanted children. She wanted none or at most one. After much discussion and compromise, we had agreed on having one child. Now, after a decade of marriage and feeling financially secure, I decided it was time to broach the subject again. I believed our relationship was strong and healthy, so I didn't anticipate any issues. However, as soon as I brought up the topic, things began to change. My wife became distant and stressed, needing time alone to unwind from the pressure of my questioning about having kids. One night, she went out with her friends until 4 a.m., and from then on, our bedroom became lifeless. Our intimate moments were usually shared equally between us, but now Ellie seemed disinterested and even avoided me. She started going out more frequently and guarding her phone closely, behaviors that were completely out of character for her. After enduring this for 3 to 4 weeks, I confided in my best friend Omar, who suggested I seek advice on Reddit. As I read through others' experiences, I realized that I needed to address the situation before it continued to take a toll on my mental state. Trust has always been an important aspect of our marriage, but now I found myself struggling to trust my own wife. My heart racing, I couldn't believe what I was about to do. Violating her privacy, I grabbed her phone and began searching through her calls and texts, feeling like a complete monster. Turns out, one of the new people in her social circle happened to be an old high school flame from before we were together. The more I dug, the more I found. It was as if the trust I had always placed in her had made her complacent in hiding the affair better. My stomach churned with anxiety as I uncovered more and more evidence. But it wasn't until I discovered that she had invited him to a party a month prior and spent the entire night catching up with him while conveniently disappearing with him to the bathroom at the same time that my anger and sadness truly started to overwhelm me. Despite clinging on to the image of the woman I thought I had married, deep down inside I knew it was all just self-delusion. And yet, she seemed oblivious to my sudden indifference towards her. She didn't even notice when I stopped making romantic gestures or showing any kind of affection towards her. As each day passed, it felt like a part of me was slowly breaking apart. Finally, a month ago, I made the decision to catch them in the act. Coming up with an excuse to leave for the weekend, I told Ellie that I was going to visit my cousin who lived 3 hours away. Instead, I went to stay with Omar, who had been helping me record and copy everything. With bated breath, I waited for them to make their move, and sure enough, they didn't disappoint. Sneaking back into our house and making my way to our bedroom, it was impossible not to hear the unmistakable sounds coming from behind our door. They were so caught up in their passion that they didn't even notice when I walked in, recording every betrayal on my phone. It was like something inside of me snapped, a deep, gut-wrenching feeling that made my veins turn to ice and a heavy weight settle on my chest. I couldn't even bring myself to breathe as I stood there, completely numb. The next few minutes are a blur in my memory. According to Omar, who I had brought along as a witness, I approached them and pulled the other man off the bed while Omar held me down on the ground. It was like something took over me, something primal and destructive. And in that moment, all I could feel was an intense sense of betrayal burning through my veins. The aftermath of getting caught was a whirlwind of emotions. Hysterics ensued, and I quickly went no contact for 5 weeks, seeking legal advice to prepare for the worst. During this time, Omar acted as her intermediary, as I had no desire to speak with her. However, she took it upon herself to reach out to my family and inform them that we were having problems. After the 5 weeks of silence, we finally met and talked. She expressed remorse and took full responsibility for her actions, assuring me that it was not my fault. We decided to give our marriage one last chance by attending counseling together. But even now, sitting here, I can't believe that I still love her, despite everything she has done. It disgusts me that I have considered her well-being and happiness, and now I am forced to question our entire relationship. Has this brazen act of cheating been an isolated incident, or has it happened before? Have I simply been too naive or trusting to see it? It has been almost a month since we started counseling, and I am filled with questions. For those who have gone through something similar, my questions are: 1. Is it possible to reconcile without feeling like you are sacrificing your self-respect? Is there a way to mend things without compromising your own values and beliefs? 2. How long does the seemingly endless cycle of anger to sadness to numbness, and then repeating all over again, typically last? I feel drained and exhausted from this constant emotional roller coaster. 3. I can't help but despise the constant need to be on guard and vigilant in our relationship. Does this mean I want out, or am I just worn down and tired? It's difficult for me to decipher my true feelings in this chaotic mess. I would greatly appreciate any advice or guidance. My love for her has never wavered since we first met in college, and I desperately want to make things work. Is it truly possible, and if so, will it ever resemble the love we once shared? Update. Hello everyone. It was a difficult decision to post on Friday, but I am so grateful that I did. The kind and brutally honest responses from the people in this subreddit have confirmed many of the thoughts and feelings I have been struggling with. This may be a long post, so please bear with my ramblings. After reading through all the replies and private messages, I took the weekend to let everything sink in. Despite trying marriage counseling and giving her a second chance, I came to the painful realization that staying with her would mean sacrificing my self-respect. I cannot continue in a relationship where I am constantly on guard for signs of betrayal. So, I have made the decision to hit the figurative red button and end it all. The morning of reckoning had arrived. As the sun began to rise, I was greeted with an unexpected surprise. My body betrayed me, my Johnson standing at full attention despite the turmoil that had engulfed my life since finding out about Ellie's affair. It was as if my subconscious was signaling to me that it was time to move on and embrace a new chapter. Feeling a mix of shock and amusement, I burst into laughter at the sight before me. Omar and his wife rushed to my side, concerned that I was having a breakdown. After composing myself, I got ready for the day and made a call to Ellie's father. We needed to talk before our scheduled session with the marriage counselor. Despite the weight of emotions swirling inside me, I surprisingly felt calm during the drive to meet him. It was as if a wall had been built around me, shielding me from the pain and hurt that threatened to consume me. We met at a quaint breakfast spot near his house, and as we sat down, I thanked him for always treating me like family. Then came the difficult part, telling him why I would be divorcing his daughter. As I explained the reasons behind my decision, I could see the disappointment and anger in his eyes, not directed towards me, but towards Ellie. He listened patiently, his head lowered in shame. I asked him not to tell her as I planned on breaking the news within the hour. He agreed, we shook hands, and he wished me well. It pained me to shatter his image of his daughter, but it was necessary. For a brief moment, I contemplated asking him to take care of her in my absence. But ultimately, I realized it was no longer my place to do so. She was a grown woman who could take care of herself, or so I hope. I arrived at our scheduled marriage counseling session with a carefully crafted speech rehearsed all day on Sunday. It was the only way I could proof my actions and words for the next few hours. As I sat in the parking lot for 10 minutes, I found myself praying, something I hadn't been able to do since this whole ordeal began. As we settled into our seats for the session, I couldn't help but notice Ellie wearing one of my favorite dresses of hers. For just a moment, I forgot about everything that had happened between us. But then a wave of visceral disgust and anger washed over me, completely erasing any trace of attraction. I let the counselor take the lead, as she had in our previous sessions. But after about 10 minutes of her and Ellie talking, I couldn't hold back any longer. Interrupting their conversation, I spoke up. "Excuse me, there are a few things I need to say to Ellie, and to have said here, with a neutral third party present. If at any point I am interrupted, I will simply leave, and that will be that." With that introduction, I turned to face Ellie and continued. "I have come to realize that it doesn't matter if this was the only time you cheated. It doesn't matter how long it went on for. It doesn't even matter how many times you cheated. What matters is that you did it." Ellie started to speak up, but I raised my hand to silence her and took a step towards the door. She immediately backed off. "I know now what truly matters," I continued, trying to keep my voice steady. "You were never going to have children with me." Ellie's eyes widened in shock. "You were going to string me along for however long it took. You were always going to cheat on me." Tears started streaming down Ellie's face. "And you clearly don't respect or love me," I finished, feeling a twinge of pain in my chest. By now, the counselor looked like she was about to interject. I responded by taking another step towards the door, effectively silencing her. "My lawyer has already started the divorce proceedings, and your father knows the full extent of what's been going on for the past hour. Don't try to contact me. From now on, the only communication between us will be through our lawyers. These are the last words. These are the last words we'll ever exchange." I walked the remaining steps to the door and left, not looking back. It was time to move on from this toxic relationship and start healing. As soon as I closed the heavy office door, a shrill cry pierced through the air, sending shivers down my spine. The sound was haunting, like something out of a nightmare. She chased after me, desperately trying to stop me from leaving. Her tear-stained face begged for forgiveness and promised a future filled with love and family, but my mind was made up. I pushed past her and made my way to the car, ignoring her cries that echoed behind me. As I drove away, the emotions that I had been suppressing finally broke free like a raging ocean storm. The tears streamed down my face and my body shook with sobs. The weight of it all threatened to consume me. I found myself at my parents' house, seeking comfort and guidance. My father was out running errands, so I confided in my mother, who had always been able to read me like an open book. She could see the turmoil in my eyes and listened patiently as I poured out everything that had been weighing on me. In the midst of it all, a user reached out to me with a supportive message, calming my nerves and helping me regain some semblance of composure. About 30 minutes later, my father returned home, and I mustered up the courage to share everything with him too. It was like a dam had burst open as I spoke, releasing all of the pain and hurt that had been bottled up inside. My father held me close as I cried into his shirt for what felt like forever. But when it was over, there was a strange sense of peace within me. It was as if all of those emotions had drained out of me, along with my tears, leaving only a sense of exhaustion, but also relief. At that moment, I knew I could move forward with a lighter heart. I have arranged for Omar to receive the Harley he has been admiring for months. The sleek black frame and powerful engine had caught his eye every time we passed by the dealership. He has been more than a friend to me, always there to listen and support me through tough times. Now, it's my turn to show him how much I appreciate his friendship. As I hand over the keys, I can't wait to see the look on his face. It will be a mixture of surprise, joy, and gratitude, a moment that I will treasure in my heart forever. This may be my last post, as it marks the end of this chapter in my life. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you who have offered sound advice and support, even though we are strangers connected only by the internet. Your words and encouragement have helped me through one of the toughest times in my life. Although the road ahead may be long and difficult, with therapy and self-reflection, I know I can rebuild my ability to trust and move forward. Each day, bit by bit, I hope to let go of the pain, sadness, and anger that still linger from this painful experience. It will be like a roto-rooter for my soul, clearing away all the debris and making room for new growth. Now begins the rest of my life, and for once, I can say that I am truly looking forward to it with hope and excitement in my heart. This is the end of this story. It is my belief that the official poster acted appropriately by ending the marriage and not attempting any further counseling. I am eager to hear your thoughts on this tale of love and heartbreak. Please share them with me in the comments section below. Also, if you are new to this channel and haven't subscribed already, please take a moment to subscribe. I will be uploading unique real stories with every bit of details on my channel.